Welcome to Dixon and Macro. Hold my popcorn, whatever the fuck we're called now. I'm
You're
guest
Tim.
hosting today. I'm Tim again, guest hosting today. Max is gonna take a break from the hosting, and he's gonna let me stumble my way through, stutter and sputter, and ruin the podcast. Anyways, today we're doing 19 something or others Dirty Harry, starring Clint Eastwood as his prolific character, like the best character ever invented, Harry Callahan, Detective Harry Callahan of the San Francisco Police Force. As always, today I'm joined with our good buddy and host extraordinaire Maxwell. Max, how you doing?
Hanging in there, Timmy. Looking forward to discussing the movie that made police brutality fun.
There was a ton of good stuff about police brutality in there, all of which I condone. And we have a extremely scared and uncertain John Hanoshak, who I'm looking at right now, who's already afraid of what we're going to say about this movie. John, how you doing, buddy?
I was going to say that I'm Harry, but this shit just got Harry. So if I just rage quit, get the fuck out of here at some point, you know what it is. So vote John 2024.
Whatever.
Don't use any of this to judge me for an election. That'll be fine. How are you, Tim?
So I'm doing great. I'm doing good. Harry, this is one of my probably fifth favorite movie. So after all the Lethal Weapons, this is my favorite movie.
Yeah, my wife wanted to say, let Tim know I said, fuck you, Tim.
Why? She didn't like this movie?
Why not?
Dirty Harry really isn't a movie for women.
What do you... So that's... I take offense to that, number one.
As a man, I take offense to that.
Because I identify as a man. No, Lisa loved it.
Really?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. I mean, like, we both agreed that the music was way over the top, but
love the music.
Effective. But very effective. No, that was the one thing. We were like, this is insane, but it's very effective. Because it would still get me amped up, like, during some of the little, like, baby chase scenes and stuff. You know what? But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just happy that Tim got to see some Yabos.
Oh, my God. So many Yabos.
All different shapes and sizes, too.
Yeah, it was
some
beautiful.
Some of them dead, some of them alive.
That, too. Some with a pulse, some without.
Hey, you know what?
Right.
It's not illegal to look. I'm just saying.
There might be some kind of laws around looking at dead people, though.
Well, hey, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. Yeah. Keep it moving,
Not
Tim.
if you're
Keep
horny.
All
right, go ahead.
Chugga.
So, for those unfamiliar with the Dirty Harry franchise, this is the first movie in the trilogy of Dirty Harry movies. The other ones aren't entitled Dirty Harry; they're entitled something else.
I appreciate
but this movie is the first entitled Dirty Harry, starring the single greatest actor of all time, Clint Eastwood. Bar none, hands down, Clint Eastwood, far and away the best actor of all time, as Harry Callahan. And there's just a bunch of other people in it that we don't have to mention. Anyways, let's get into it.
Not a trilogy. There's 5 of these movies.
5 of these movies, as I stated before. 5 of them.
Let's just get this off. I'm going to just get this cock off my chest right at the beginning of this movie. And spoiler alert, everybody. The movie ends with Dirty Harry throwing his badge into a reservoir. And we have 4 more movies.
Yep. Goes all the way up until 1988.
Great. Love it. Okay, let's keep going.
He gets the badge back. Let's just say this. There's only 3 of them are worth watching.
I'm going to need this back.
Oh, wow. So you shaved a couple off. That's really generous of you.
No, I didn't know there were 5. I've only seen the good ones.
I know in the last movie is, I think it's like Jim Carrey's film debut where he gets murdered in like the first few minutes.
Yeah.
It's called The Deadpool. It's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
Huh.
So the movie opens. There's a 70s sexy broad, she's not really like hot, but like in the 70s she was hot. She's swimming in a rooftop pool, and we see her through the scope of a gun. Bam! She's shot in the back with what apparently is a red paintball.
Yeah.
She then holds her breath and bubbles underwater as she dies.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Since you're not shooting on site in LA, you can't just find extras just anywhere. You went to San Francisco. She had just taken 5 bong rips. She did the best she could. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, she probably, that's a pretty good paintball shot from across.
Yeah. Like I remember when I had my tip in 95 and all of that and the crazy induction barrel nonsense or whatever, and it would float it. Yeah. It didn't make it a couple city blocks, unfortunately.
Right.
Especially with a little bit of air drift. But,
I can imagine sniping somebody in San Francisco is pretty difficult to do with all the elevation and the wind and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This guy's a good shot.
Everything's wrong. You've got the fog that throws it off, a little bit of friction there on the bullet while it's spinning. We get to actually hear Dirty Harry try to explain how they were able to trace this gun and bullet and all of that shit later. But okay, his boss doesn't give a shit, so that's fine.
Right. So all that was happening through like the very classic Dirty Harry soundtrack, which is just a lot of like do 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 do. Yeah. And this is all happening in the opening credits. And then the credits stop right when Detective Harry Callahan climbs the roof that the shot was taken from and finds a letter from Scorpio. Boom.
Yes. So, everybody, I need you to understand that the first 15 minutes of this movie are the opening credits with the same track played on repeat of Dirty Harry just walking around looking at shit like Kim Jong-un. Just looking at shit. Just, oh, that's great. Oh, wow. Okay. And then, gets on top of this building, finds the note, finds the bullet. You know what? But he's a good enough cop to where he picks up the bullet with a pen. And that's how I knew he meant business.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 things here. First of all, I want that music to follow me just in life when I'm just doing like mundane things, just to make everything. It'll just make you feel like you got a purpose in life when you're just like vacuuming.
I want to be in the grocery store with that music following me when everyone else can hear it.
I want to be scooping up my dog's shit and have that music playing.
No, it's the whole movie is nothing but like one giant snare drum where I feel like I'm like trying out for the band. That's stressful. I don't need that following me around. Give me a fucking tuba band any day. Or a little bit of synth. I'm surprised you weren't looking for a little bit of synth when you walk out the door every day where it's like...
That's only when I'm driving at night, John.
At night. Where you... I'm not going to ask where the fuck you're driving to in rural Tennessee.
It's all good. Second thing is just... Has anyone ever looked cooler than Clint Eastwood? He is the coolest fucking looking dude. Who?
Me.
Yep.
Me. Because I don't wear sweater vests.
It doesn't matter what Clint Eastwood's wearing.
It totally matters.
No, it does.
Yes, it does.
He looks great in that suit. He
Yes,
looks
he
great
does.
in that suit.
He doesn't kick ass when he's wearing that sweater vest. He does not kick ass when he's wearing that sweater vest.
John, as a man who used to wear tweed in college, I'm surprised.
I am not talking about tweed. I think the tweed is fantastic. I think the tweed is robust. I think the tweed helps you deal with the mist and the ups and downs of the weather in the microclimate of San Francisco. But it does not justify wearing a fucking sweater vest that's probably made of cashmere while you have a 357 Magnum in your fucking pocket. No.
He's a 44 Magnum, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, it's a 44 Magnum. Lisa asked me the difference between a 44 Magnum and a 357. I couldn't tell you.
It's whether you're
It's just
feeling
the
lucky.
caliber of the bullet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but which is going to actually blow your arm off?
Who cares?
Nah,
The one that Dirty Harry carries.
Oh, you take your fucking nuts, kid.
Harry finds a letter-
here. Sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Harry Carey. Harry Callahan.
So if someone asked you if you were going to bite the bullet, would you?
It's a simple question, Doctor.
Go ahead.
So
Break my neck.
cut scene. Cut scene from Harry finding the note to the mayor of San Francisco's office as he condescendingly reads the note from the Scorpio that is just a bunch of rambling nonsense and some stuff about how he's going to kill a Catholic or a black person. So then Harry walks into the mayor's office and immediately exposes how big of a moron the mayor is. And he also displays that Harry Callahan don't take no guff.
Except from his own boss.
Yes, except from his own
Except
boss.
from his own boss. Every time he tries to explain the real police work that's going on, his boss feels the need to stand up and walk to another chair and sit down and interrupt him and say something that makes no difference, whatsoever. I was really waiting, though, for the mayor to just say, we have to find this guy so we can put him on double secret probation. Because it is the exact same actor who plays the dean in Animal House, and I could not take him seriously.
That's who that guy is.
It's the exact same character, too.
Movie. Yeah, in every way. He's just like, this is bullshit, and we cannot stand for it. Whiskey at whiskey at noon. Let's go. God, and those fucking... I wanted to rip off his sideburns with my teeth. With my fucking teeth. But anyways, Tim.
Well, so Harry tries to explain what's going on with the investigation. As John's pointed out, his boss just completely interrupts him every time. And the meeting sort of just ends with Harry insulting the mayor. After explain, well, I don't really. Yeah, we don't.
How do you know he's trying to rape her?
But
when I see a naked man with a hard on running down the street, it's like whatever. He's like, makes a good point.
Yeah, figure he's not out collecting for the Red Cross.
Yeah, with a butcher's knife, and even the mayor at the end says, "You know what? I think he has a point there."
Fair enough.
So then the cut scene from the mayor's office. There's a lot of cut scenes in this movie. One of the reasons why I really like this movie is there's no fat on this movie. There's like really nothing that isn't driving plot, that isn't establishing character and driving plot, which is great. It's a tight hour and a half movie. So
tight plot,
we cut scene
but they do. I'm sorry, Tim. Tight plot, but they do like drag some scenes on just because it's the 70s. And there's some scenes which could have been cut like 4 or 5 seconds either before or after the scene.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But I'm
just saying there's no scene in there that's like just a throwaway scene that you're like, why is that even there?
Yeah, it's not like him running into some girl at a coffee shop and giving her shit and then, like none of that.
Right. So, cut scene from the mayor's office. Harry goes to his favorite lunch spot, which is apparently operated by Chef Boyardee, for his
eating
usual
all of his
lunch.
food.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Burger Den or like something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
The Burger Den. He's eating a hot dog.
Yeah, of course.
Harry goes, give me the usual, and the guy goes, the usual lunch or usual dinner, and Harry's like, what's the difference? He's like, not much.
One hot dog. Here you go.
Yeah.
The longest hot dog.
Yeah, Harry's usual lunch or dinner is it's a foot-long hot dog, but the ever-observant Harry sees a bank robbery in progress, tells Chef Boyardee to call in a 211 in progress, and he says, I'm going to wait till the cavalry arrives.
Which is him.
And then takes a big mouthful of that hot dog and then immediately goes, shit. Once he sees that the bank is actually fucking being robbed. Also, like, that is the longest hot dog that has ever been served in San Francisco. Does that only go when you have a 44 Magnum in your pocket that you need to have a hot dog that's as long as your fucking gun?
I'm just sad that they didn't make any gay jokes.
They got close, and this was definitely a weird foray into like, a conservative man living in a liberal city who still is tolerant at the same time, but doesn't take any shit. He hates everybody equally, you know?
Yeah. So, the bank robbery starts getting out of control. Harry realizes he has to step in. So he just walks out of his lunch spot, doesn't notify anyone that he's police, just 44 Magnum drawn, just starts spraying bullets like a motherfucker. And he kills the guys in the car flips over, there's explosions, there's people running over, he kills one of the bank robbers, or shoots one of the bank robbers injured.
He kills like 4 people before he even swallows the first bite of his hot dog. He's chewing on that hot dog the entire time.
The entire time.
How funny would it have been if he got into that monologue and then he just starts choking on the hot dog?
That's just being an actor, because anytime you have to actually eat food in a movie, it's like terrible food. They never want to actually like swallow it. So he's just like, as an actor, he's just like, I don't want to fucking swallow this, but I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Like, real people outside of actors and or Clint Eastwood, because we know he has special powers, so he can probably shoot a gun and chew food at the same time, unlike the three of us, because we are lesser beings. We are talking about Clint Eastwood after all. But I had a football coach who was always infamous for just having a huge old chew in the side of his cheek. And I'm talking chewing tobacco, not dip that you put in your lip. big old pouch. He'd put half a pouch in there, and he would start screaming at somebody on the defensive line, and then immediately start choking every time. You're like, you motherfucker! And then you just see like an entire line of all the linemen going, and then we would get our asses kicked. But still, it happens. I don't know how the fuck he did it. He is a greater man than we are.
Mm-hmm. So, so Harry walks up to the injured bank robber, and this happens twice in the movie, but this is like the most iconic scene in the movie, where he walks up and he goes, "I know what you're thinking. Did he shoot 6 shots or only 5? Well, to be honest, I lost track in the chaos myself. But, this is a 44 Magnum." Yeah.
Starts pointing at his throat.
Right.
This turns into The Fifth Element in about 30 seconds. Yeah.
Joking!
So, he says, "This is a 44 Magnum, blow your head clean off. So the question is, do you feel lucky? Do you, punk?" And then he said, and then the bank robber thinks better of it. Then he goes, this is a black bank robber, by the way, folks. He goes, "Hey man, I gots to know," in his jive talk. And then Harry, following good police procedure, says, "Oh, I forgot to shoot this unarmed black man," and walks back and tries to shoot him. Turns out he did take 6 shots, though.
Smirks at him. He's like, "You motherfucker."
Well, he walks off chuckling, like, "Oh, that was the funniest thing ever." Like, no, not that I just made someone's life flash before their eyes. Like, I don't care if he robbed a fucking bank.
This is Riggs's father, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same hair.
100%.
Same fucking hair, too. Same haircut issue where even his own boss, once again, later in the movie, is like, "When are you going to get a haircut?" "When you do."
Yeah, right? Same jumper thing that we'll get into later, too.
Yeah. Also good.
So again, we're in a cut scene here. Harry got shot during on that whole melee, and he goes to the doctor. The only really important thing in this scene is that we find out that Harry's wife is dead.
I didn't even pay attention to that, so thank you, Tim.
Yeah, no problem.
I just appreciated that he's a very fiscally responsible individual, where he, like, the doctor brings out the scissors. He's like, "What's those for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going to cut your pants off so that way we can get to the wound." And he's like, "For $29.95, I'm going to take the pain and take these pants off."
Actually, okay. So
good.
this is actually, I'm glad you brought that up, John. Thank you very much, because I have a thing where I feel like if Mr. Dooley, if Bill's dad was a cop, he would be Dirty Harry.
Yes,
like,
he would.
I can't
Holy shit.
I can't get Mr. Dooley and Dirty Harry out of, like, they are the same person to me in my mind.
They have the same, they both have that Eastwood scowl, too.
Yeah, they both have the Eastwood scowl. They both have a disdain for everything. And they're both like, and this is the moment when I go, this is Mr. Dooley, when he's like, "Fuck you, you're ruining my pants." That's exactly something that Mr. Dooley would say.
What do you mean?
The only difference is that Mr. Dooley would be in jean shorts.
Yep. Yep.
I need to see a picture of this guy sometime.
Oh, dude. Yeah, they're like the same person. So I'm like, thank you for bringing that up, John, because I was like, I remember that thinking in that scene last time I watched it. Well, a day ago, I was like, "Holy shit, it's Mr. Dooley."
We'll put a shout out there to Bill. Bill, tell us, is it real?
Yep. After Harry goes to the doctor, he then lands on the police headquarters in a helicopter, goes down to talk to his boss. Helicopter goes back to the rooftops to search for Scorpio. And then we find out that Harry gets saddled with some new partner.
Oh, Chico!
Yep.
My boy.
And, Harry expresses, when he meets Chico, Harry expresses his love for the Hispanic people and college educations.
I was so impressed by, like, the super fat dude who was just, like, hanging out in,
Fatso?
like, Fatso, is that his name?
Fatso,
yeah.
Yep.
And he's just like, oh yeah, he just rattles off like every racial slur known to the American tongue in
all the bad ones.
15 seconds, except he misses the Mexican one, and then of course Dirty Harry has to say, "Oh, them, nah,
Yep.
them the worst," kind of a thing.
Yeah.
With a wink in
But
his
then
eye.
drops a little wink in there, just not that Chico sees, but just to the other guy, like, no, it's okay, don't let him know yet. I'm
a
actually
cute
guy.
I'm a cute racist.
Yeah.
I'm a lovable racist.
That's all I can really. There's nothing else I can elaborate or expand on in this joke without getting offensive.
Just granddaddy. It's like granddaddy racist, where it's like, it's like, well, he was raised different. I remember that discussion with like those relatives that you would see at Thanksgiving. We're like, how come he used the N-bomb, Mom? It's like, well, and that was how the conversation went, because then your parent ran off and to go grab a drink as fast as they could.
He's 70s straight male racist or progressive, which is to say he probably doesn't hate anybody, but he's not going to let you know that, and he's still going to be offensive.
In every way possible.
Right. Okay, so after it's established that Harry is, hates every race, color, creed, and religion on the planet, again, we're going to cut scene to a rooftop overlooking a church and a park, and Scorpio's looking over the park and the church, and he's ready to make his next kill after the city didn't pay up the money he wanted.
So this was actually a very interesting part, because Lisa and I started psychoanalyzing the killer immediately. Mm-hmm. And we're like, okay, so either we were abused by a priest, or we are a self-hating gay man whose first lover was a black man, perhaps? I mean, just super complicated. And we never got any answers, and I'm okay with that, because, spoiler alert, this motherfucker gets his fucking brains blown out, and that's cool. Well, he actually doesn't get his head shot off, but that's neither here nor there. But it was very interesting to see them try to just sprinkle in like 1971, a little bit of context on why this killer might be just fucking crazy. That's kind of cool.
I think it's a good point, Jen. There's so much subtext to the killer, and a lot of it just comes from the mere fact that they're in San Francisco. If this was set in Kansas City, that subtext would not be there.
And to build off of that, it's so refreshing that this wasn't set in Los Angeles or Manhattan for a fucking change, for like a cop movie. But you get all of those wonderful things that you get out of San Francisco, especially the guy that the killer is about to shoot, and that wonderful purple shawl that he has on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just, fantastic. I could see the velvet from here. Like, touch my body. Nothing but pure silk touches this body. Like, damn. I'm happy he didn't kill him.
Yeah, that's the one I was happy that didn't die. I'm like, don't kill this guy. He's just trying to have a coffee with his buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
Eating ice cream.
Ice cream. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Even better.
They're just flailing around eating ice cream.
Dead wrist eating that ice cream.
He is flinging that ice cream cone around like it's a baton,
I mean, shit, dude. This was back in the day before San Francisco, like where in broad daylight you'd get robbed by Screwdriver Point. Like, it's a totally different town back then. So
yeah, they're a year away from it going to total shit once Watergate happens and the 60s are finally dead. Mm-hmm. But another thing too is interesting, like going back to Scorpio, is that, I mean, obviously he's a serial killer, but like the term serial killer hadn't even been coined yet. It would be like another 10 years until that point. So like they're talking about like his motives or whatever. It's like, no, they like to repeat and do these same things. It's like, there's no profiling that had ever been established to this point yet.
Yeah. Profiling was purely done in Hollywood.
Yeah. So they're just kind of guessing. They're like, I don't know. He's like a convenience store robber. He's got to go to the same place over and over again.
Well, it's interesting that they don't, because they still give him real life motives. Like, he wants money. It's not like he's a serial killer, but he's not motivated purely by the desire to kill things, to kill people. He's like, still has that sort of more rational motive, which is sort of indicative of what you're saying, Max. It's not like there's that pervasive knowledge and culture that there are serial killers and they're motivated by this and profiles and all that shit,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, the guy's asking for cash straight up, but like, the scene that we're talking about where he's tempting to get ready to shoot this guy with the wonderful shawl. I just can't stop talking about it. But he's I'm gonna fucking buy. You've ever seen that picture of what's his face from 30 Seconds to Mars watching the guy in the green jacket walk down the runway? I'll send it to you later. It's the funniest fucking thing. So when the beautiful gentleman in the purple shawl walks out of frame and out of the sniper scope, and the killer can't see him, he gets really upset because he was like, that's the guy I'm going to kill. Mm-hmm. So you're still seeing it pulled back to where this guy is a legit serial killer. Does he need that fucking cash money? Hell yeah. But it doesn't mean that he can't love it while he's getting that cash money. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's clear that he's like, he loves killing, and he's definitely has that as like it's a factor in the whole thing. But it's interesting that they didn't just make him a pure, like, straight out serial killer, like Ted Bundy or whatever his name is. You know?
They didn't exist yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So back to Max's point. Yeah, they really just weren't prepared to understand that.
And here's another thing, too, I guess. I was just thinking as we're talking about him, because, like, if you ever read about him, they always say that he's, like, a psycho or a crazy person. I think even, like, the synopsis of this movie is, like, you know, like Dirty Harry trying to, like, stop a psychotic killer. But he doesn't really do anything psychotic. Like, everything he does is planned ahead of time. Like, he had, all the people he wanted to kill, he picked out ahead of time. He, like, as we'll find out later, like, he stages a police brutality beating to just get Callahan off his back. Like, a crazy person doesn't do that. That's someone who has, like, fully formed plan.
Oh, yeah. He's very smart.
And I think he's acting like he's crazy, but he's not.
Right.
Or, I don't know. I mean, I think it's...
he could just be eccentric.
Character. Yeah.
He's a very interesting character. It's so layered. It's so layered what he is.
And the reason why he got the role is because originally it was supposed to be like a fat, balding guy, apparently.
Yeah.
They completely changed the character because Eastwood saw him in a play. Like, this is his first movie he had ever done. And Eastwood's like, I like that guy. We should have him do it. And then one of the producers is like, yeah, he looks like a choir boy. That's good. Like, let's have him be the killer. Kind of unexpected. Because, I mean, back then, they were still having villains with, like, patches on their eyes as bad guys, you know?
Right.
It's 1971.
Well, it's sort of like time. You know, there's a lot of we probably haven't gotten this deep in like movie shit in a while. But there's a lot of like. It's sort of his character is sort of like a metaphor for the hippie culture turning sour, because the hippie culture through the 60s was this like flowery, you know, peace, love, all that shit, and in the 70s, hippie culture became. Like it kind of soured because of
drug addiction,
and it became exactly not about the politics or like the peace and love, but more about the drugs and just became seedy.
Well, that's the thing too with this guy is that he has a peace belt that he wears the whole movie, the peace sign. You know, he's got this flowing hair. Yeah, it's all warped.
He broke it. It's a broken belt because he had other little things I don't know what you call those. Yeah.
But I mean, he looks like the people of San Francisco, but he's more like Dirty Harry, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like the guy is just malicious and vicious and loves killing people and will do it as long as he can.
Exactly.
Until Harry kills him. It's the only way it's
going
to stop.
Shoots him in the fucking dick.
Right there, Fred.
Hey, we're back on track.
All right, snap out of
it. Shoot him in the cock. That's what I always say.
So Scorpio starts lining up the shots at our beautiful man in the shawl and his buddy, and but the helicopters, the police and the helicopters have been circling the rooftops trying to find this guy. They nab him, they spot him out, and they chase him off the rooftop. And so there's a description after they chase him off the rooftop that the assailant has a tan briefcase. And so we cut scene again to Harry and Chico driving the streets of San Francisco looking for a guy with a tan briefcase.
That's a really, specific thing to look for. As we see, it leads them to the perfect suspect. The perfect suspect.
Really backfires there. Because then what happens is Chico sees a tan briefcase. Harry follows him. Climbs up on a trash can to peek in the window where the guy with the tan briefcase goes into, and boom, we're introduced to the best character in the movie. Max, who is she?
Hot Mary.
Hot Mary.
Hot Mary. Red hot,
quote unquote, air quote on the hot.
Right.
She is a good 260 pounds.
Nah, dude. Nah, perfectly fine. You want to know why? Because she could beat the shit out of any three of us. And then
she's about to smother that little Asian man. You knew what was happening next. She's
no,
got to sit on
like
that
seriously, you drop one of those titties on a can, it's crushed. I mean, impressive shit. We're still in the free love movement, man. It's fine. It's okay. Bring it all shapes.
It is so funny. I'm sure, Tim, you're going to talk about it in a second, but just how all the homeless people they just jump Dirty Harry, and then like their reasoning for it, it's like he was peeping on Hot Mary. It's just like the most ridiculous thing.
They're so protective of Hot Mary. Hot Mary gives out slap jobs for $2 in that alley.
Fucking flapjacks are hanging over the window when she leans out.
Yeah.
No one peeps on those tits except for us.
Except for us, so your local friendly homeless people.
Holy shit. But damn, dude, they fucking lay the law down, too.
Oh, they do. Alley. Oh, dude, there are some real, like, there's some real great, like, names for people that I've never heard outside of this movie. One of them was when Harry and Chico were chasing this guy in the car with a briefcase, and the people are crossing the street. Harry always runs them over, and he goes, "Get out of the way, you hammerheads!"
Yeah, you hammerhead.
And the second one is when the homeless people beat up Harry, and they're kicking him in the face. They go, "Goddamn pie hawker!" I don't know what it means. But it's so good. I don't care what a pie hawker is. I'm going to call everyone it from now on.
So I really like, though, so like when they're driving down, he's like, "Get out of the way, you fucking hammerheads," and the whole thing. But like where both cops are actively talking about just arresting everybody on an entire strip just because, like, everybody here that's next to the sex shops, like, sometimes I just want to throw a whole net and bring them in. Like, so you just want to illegally arrest everybody.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, love that. That aged well.
Just like Pop used to do.
Law and order. Yeah.
Tell you, this country went to shit after 1964. You know. You guys know.
Yeah.
After you had to pay for tits and couldn't see them forcefully. Ugh.
Piece of legislative that went through. Ruined this goddamn country. By the way, I'm referencing the 1964 Civil Rights Act, everybody. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
There we go.
Yeah, so Harry's getting beat up by the homeless people for being a goddamn pie hawker. And then Chico comes in, breaks it up. That's all kind of like whatever. Anyways.
Oh, now I know why they call you dirty.
So Chico kind of insinuates that the reason why they call him Dirty Harry is because he likes to peep.
That'll be a recurring thing.
Right.
Sorry, Tim.
So then they get a call about an 804 in progress at the car, and Harry and Chico take off. Turns out an 804 is a jumper. And Harry leaps into action. Well, when I say leaps, he's coerced by the fire chief into action to get this jumper down off a roof. And Harry does it the only way he knows possible, by insulting him and making him want to kill him.
Riggs did it better.
Great fucking job.
Yep.
Riggs did it? Nah, this guy did it better than Riggs. He had to go up on the fucking jankiest cherry picker I have ever seen in my life. I do not know how it held both people.
And that was real. He actually went up on that thing. So I got a little trivia on that because I looked that up. As I was watching, I'm like, this doesn't look fake. Like, there's no CGI didn't exist back then, and this background is moving. Like, he's actually up there. So he actually went up in that little jankety thing and went up like 20 stories in the air and did that scene. And they had him direct it, and they gave them like 6 days to get that shot right. And Eastwood said, like, I'll do it in 2. And then they did it all in that one night. They just nailed it. Because, like, Eastwood is, like, known for that. Like, he always delivers his movies on time and under budget. That's why people just give him whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and he makes great movies.
Yeah. But it's such a rarity in Hollywood for those two things to happen.
I can see why Clint Eastwood's a conservative.
Yes.
Fiscal.
Yes. Very
fiscal responsibility.
Yep.
No overspending.
Well, yeah, there's a difference. If you decide to govern, great.
He's been a mayor forever. He was a mayor of his town for like 30 years. I did like the whole reverse psychology, though, of, mixed in with him just straight up knocking the dude out when he's already airborne.
I know, he's like coming down, pat, smacks him.
One punch to the face, knocked out. All right, I got to hold this guy's lifeless body now. Another 20 stories down.
I want to know if that was the plan. He's like, I'm going to piss this guy off so much, he's going to try and grab me and take me down with me.
Yes.
At which point, I'm going to knock him out.
I feel like you only could...
route.
He probably knew this guy ahead of time, because like if you saw Bill Dooley on a bridge, like getting ready to jump, like that's what you would do, is just try to piss him off, because he would immediately try to kill you.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then try
true.
to spear you, and then you save his life. And he still hates you for it later, but that's okay.
So Harry gets the jumper down off the roof, and Harry Callahan style there, and then he gets to the bottom and he looks at Chico and he goes, "Now you know why they call me Dirty Harry. Every dirty job."
And Tim got super hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, he's doing everybody's job.
Dude, it was throbbing.
Dude, like what the fuck is it with Homicide always getting called in for the jumpers? Like they aren't even dead yet.
It's like, you got the wrong guy.
Yeah, like I'm just going to try to kill him so that way I have work to do. Like, what I don't understand. What are we doing here? You want him to die? No, you don't. Okay.
No, maybe they're incentivized not to get them not to die, so they don't have to do any work.
Speaking of incentivized, they should get some kind of bonus for doing other people's jobs. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm already investigating this goddamn fucking Zodiac knockoff. Now I gotta go save kittens from trees? Like, get the fuck out of here. Find somebody else. There's a staircase, too, that can get me up there. How about you guys go up the stairs, and I'll just mosey on up here, and then you can go get him from the roof. I'll be the backup. Fucking cunts.
Firefighters are like, we only deal with ladders.
Oh, fuck. What happened?
And Max is gone.
I'm back.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay, so, so Harry gets the guy down off the roof. Cutscene to the morning. Harry and Chico get a call about a shooting of a young boy. They respond, and it turns out this young boy is the latest victim of Scorpio. And Scorpio shot him from a roof next to looks like just a parking lot.
This one, did they ever really tie him to this murder? Or was this just a kid shot in the face? Okay.
No, it's because he said he was going to kill... He said I'm going to kill a priest and somebody who's black.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his MO, too, because he shot him from a roof with the same
shells.
gun.
Yeah, they found the bullet shells on the roof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys notice the ambulance in that scene?
No.
It looked like a moving van, but I didn't
looked like a
focus on it.
FedEx truck. Yeah, like, did ambulances used to look like FedEx trucks? What the fuck was that? It was like an ice cream
FedEx
truck.
started as a body transporter. That was what FedEx started as. And hey, FedEx, if you think that's wrong, come get me.
No, it's
come
great.
meet me at the top of meet me at the top of fucking the monument. If you think that I'm wrong, FedEx, you pieces of shit.
I know you're one guy.
Yeah, I know you're one guy, and I know your name's Tony.
So speaking from experience, talk shit about FedEx all you want. Don't fuck with UPS. They'll come get you.
Yeah, UPS. I would never fuck with UPS.
No. Don't do that.
Harry and Chico report after the shooting of the kid. Harry and Chico report to the chief's office to discuss their latest plan to catch Scorpio, which is essentially put a bunch of police on rooftops, except for one roof, which presumably then he'll go to.
It's the same one that he already used. That's their idea. It's like he wasn't able to kill somebody on that one prior. So let's leave the door open, and then we'll just stake it out.
Right. And then Harry and Chico will be lying in wait to shoot him in the face.
Turns out that Harry's a very shitty shot with a rifle. Give him a pistol all day long. He could shoot you 5 miles away.
Cutscene to the nighttime. Harry and Chico are sitting on their rooftop, staked out by the church. Harry gets a little distracted by some nice 70s titties. And then... bum, 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 Scorpio shows up.
So this goddamn super cop completely forgets why they're doing this stakeout, and he is fully invested in looking at this naked woman who then, she's wearing underwear. Somebody knocks on the door. She does the opposite and goes like, oh, hold on, I'm coming. And then she takes all of her clothes off, answers the door with her clothes off, There's two women there. They come in. He's like, all right, okay, I see where this is going. Oh, shit, there's a killer. He like moves his fucking thing up.
He goes, you owe it to yourself to live a little, Harry.
He's like, the guy's up on the roof.
You got to stop to smell the roses.
Yeah.
It's a perk of being a cop. You know, I really think that there might be something to him being called Dirty Harry and that he likes being a peeping Tom.
Just the second time he's been peeping.
You know, just accidentally I saw a pair of tits. Oh, just accidentally. Like, no, you know what you're doing.
I was really hoping to see, because, you know, he looks in multiple windows too. He sees like this blind man getting screamed at. He sees some other people like watching TV. I was really hoping to then see like Daniel Hillard just freaking the fuck out because his like Mrs. Doubtfire mask just got ran over by a bus and he's just running around like a naked woman's suit on. He's just like, God damn, San Francisco's going to goddamn hell. And just continue to look around.
But he's the man who can clean it up.
No, instead
one
he
headshot at a time.
Yeah, and instead he then just starts firing his Magnum 44 from half a mile away into a thickly settled apartment complex.
Oh my God. And that's actually that's the second time he's fired into like literal crowds. I mean, like when the bank robbery was happening, he was firing down a street with 75 people. And then same thing.
He's like sneezing while firing at the same time. He's not even looking when he's fucking doing it.
My whole thing with this is like they couldn't give Harry a rifle with a scope. They gave him a rifle with open sights. Like he's like gonna snipe someone across like 10 city blocks with fucking open. Yeah, it was never gonna work out.
Isn't that supposed to be for SWAT to do? Not just local inspectors.
Yeah. When you get Harry Callahan.
Yeah, my God.
He kills like 5 people just during that shootout. He's like, everybody's guilty about something.
Yeah,
that's how I go to bed every night.
Looks back at in the naked woman's apartment. They're all dead.
Oh fuck.
Well, he says something like, "I guess it's the one that got away." Chico's like, "That doesn't make sense. You killed them."
They literally didn't go anywhere.
No, it was a ricochet from the submachine gun that the killer was carrying to use as a sniper rifle. Apparently, that was a little weird. All of a sudden, this fucking submachine gun comes out of fucking left field.
Oh yeah, he had like the Russian style submachine gun, the British style. Okay, so Harry misses Scorpio because he was too distracted by the titties, and so Scorpio escapes off the roof, and kills a cop on the street and gets away.
Scorpio gets caught a lot in this, which I was not expecting. Like the first time when the helicopters are there, I was like, oh shit, they got him already. And then this time too, like it's like they're so close so many times. If this wasn't 1971, there's nowhere he would have been able to go. Like he would have been stuck.
Exactly. Right. It was the good old days. You could still get away or run away. Oh, holy shit. Mm.
No cameras in every corner.
Holy shit, yeah, seriously.
Fucking Andrew Cuomo.
Evidence.
Staring down my dick.
Honest to God, actually, that the country lost its freedom that all of these CPAC cunts fucking talk about and scream about at their fucking convention. We lost our true freedom of what you folks were actually worried about once 2 individuals couldn't duel themselves to death in public. Mm-hmm. That's when we lost it. I actually had a smart shop owner in Amsterdam try to spin me that wheel while I was eating mushrooms way back in the day. And that's not the conversation you want to have with somebody after you're getting ready to fucking roll balls off mushrooms.
Yeah, with a fucking American high schooler who's tripping balls. This is the kind of conversation you want to have.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, and also like comparing the Netherlands government to Nazism with a smile. Anyways, moving on. We're moving on.
Okay, so cutscene. Harry and Chico show up to work in the morning after Scorpio gets away and find out that there's a young girl that's been kidnapped, and apparently Scorpio sent this letter in that said he kidnapped her. I buried her in a park somewhere. Now Harry is on the clock to find her. So basically, Harry becomes like the fucking delivery man of the money that the Scorpio wants.
No, Tim.
And Scorpio, what?
This turns into Die Hard with a Vengeance, Simon Says.
I know, dude.
Straight up. I know. I was like, holy shit. I didn't even know.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Guys, we got to throw it out there, and this is just my opinion. I think that this movie is better than Die Hard.
Ooh.
I
agree
really do. I really do. It's simpler, more lean. It's a lean, mean fucking just 44 Magnum in the pants, eating giant fucking hot dogs and violating civil rights. I mean, this is exactly what that movie wanted to do, but there weren't any rules yet. It's great.
Listen, I'm 100% agree with that, John. I think it's better than Die Hard. It just is in my book, but to each their own, I suppose.
Indeed.
So I prefer Clint Eastwood, but I also would prefer John McClane to Harry Callahan, if that makes sense.
I can see that. There's a little more humor in the John McClane.
Is so much fun. Those first 3 movies.
Yeah. But I mean, he doesn't like offend minorities like Harry Callahan does.
He just doesn't capture the Boston market, okay? You know what I mean?
Listen,
like, you've got to get the Boston demographic. Wasn't trying to talk about Boston market. What was it, like that deli place where you always get your rotisserie chickens from or whatever the fuck? Yeah. I know. That's all they did. No, they do nothing but rotisserie chickens as Boston market. But like the Boston demographic, unless you are actively talking shit about everyone that's not white.
All right. Well, who's better doing a Simon Says then? Is it Scorpio or is it Scar from The Lion King?
Oh, definitely Scar. Yeah. Scar all the time.
Rather than him going like Copper.
Holy shit.
And then just hang up the phone. Like, it's so weird.
This guy's fucking crazy. I mean, like, definitely he got that part down right, but nobody looks as great as Scar eating a banana holding a submachine gun at the
wearing
same time.
A woman's small tank top.
Fuck yeah, dude. The vascularity and those biceps and that cock were fucking unbelievable. And I put
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, get it.
All right.
So Harry, becomes his delivery man for this money. The plan is that he is going to deliver the money. He has to show up to like the marina and get they know he's going to get all these fucking directions, going to get the runaround from Scorpio. Chico isn't supposed to follow him, but Harry and Chico patch a plan so that Chico's going to follow him with some fucking pre-Radio Shack, microphone gadget. And the chase is on. So then it's basically just 10 minutes of Harry running around San Francisco to different payphones and, almost shooting homeless people in the face in a tunnel until he gets to the park, the entrance to the park, where he just sees people fucking in the bushes as a gay prostitute who's trying to accost him.
Yeah, it was nice he didn't beat the shit out of that guy.
Oh, I was fully expecting.
Go home, do it at home.
Yeah,
do it at home. Well, I love that. He was like, "Oh my god, I might get really hurt." He's like, "Hurt yourself at home," or like some shit like that.
Right,
but like totally tolerant, very tolerant of it. Just like
shocked.
Get the fuck out.
I specifically wrote down that note, being like, I cannot believe that he just let that guy go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, like he also let the bums who beat the shit out of him go. Like this is the cop that San Francisco needs. Like still old school, but at the same time, 100% tolerant and all about street justice. That's all you need.
But in reality, it's just because it's less paperwork for him to have to do later.
Hey, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. And
he wanted to beat the shit out of that guy, but he was like, the paperwork.
Oh, yeah, I got other stuff to do. I just got tired of watching, like literally, like physically and emotionally tired of just watching Eastwood, a 41-year-old Eastwood, just slowly jog with his dress shoes all over San Francisco.
Yeah,
like he looked exhausted.
Oh yeah, dude, he was legit about to die when he got to the entrance of the park.
He stopped running. The whole rule is like if the phone's supposed to ring 4 times, and if it's the 5th time the girl dies, the phone rang like more than 4 times, and he just started walking. He's like, "Fuck it."
Well, yeah, and everybody was surprised. Spoiler alert: that the girl is dead already. Like,
and he already said,
nobody talks about that.
Yeah, well, Harry knew. He said that before. He's like, she's dead, right?
Yep, exactly.
But she's a white 14-year-old. We can't take that risk.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, hold on. She's black. Never mind. Let's cancel the whole thing.
Harry. She is dead.
So Harry gets to the top of the park where the cross is, where Scorpio said that that was the last meeting spot, and he's gonna drop the money. So Harry's at the cross. He's waiting around for Scorpio. Then Scorpio comes out and like fucking jumps Harry, like whacks him on the back of the head, starts beating the shit out of him, and tells him that he changed Scorpio tells him he changed his mind. He's going to let the girl die, and he's going to kill Harry, too.
He shit whips Harry, too. I mean, he beats the fuck out of Harry.
Kicks him in the back of the head against a wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, hey, you know what? At least there's Chico there who can't fire a fucking straight shot to save his goddamn life. Thank God Dirty Harry duct taped a fucking prison knife to his leg. His great, just super pale, patchy, hairy-ass calf.
Oh, he doesn't have any hair. No, I'm sorry, John. I noticed that. I'm like, what is he, like a swimmer? He has no fucking hair on his legs.
But it's that kind of like white guy calf though, where it's like all like, you know, the little like spindly, like
very ashy
like hairs and shit. Yeah, just like super ashy and shit. Like, and also I'm just gonna put this out there right now. Simple, like little like desktop tape does not fucking strap a stiletto like split blade onto your fucking calf. Like you need duct tape. Yeah, you need,
especially not running like 10 miles.
It's like you're gonna stab yourself.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Like, oh yeah, I got the clear tape from my desk. It's actually really high quality. Like, nah.
They don't make things like they used to, boys.
So during all this running, we were talking about before the show how dark, like literally dark this movie is. I couldn't see fucking shit. This entire 10 minutes of him running around the park. Like I had one light on in our house. I had to turn that off. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't see anything. I can see a little bit of his, like, maroon sweat vest that he's wearing under his sports coat. But besides that, nothing.
I'm really happy that you brought that up because I got really pissed off thinking that because I have been battling with my new TV for weeks, trying to get it to the perfect, like all situational, you know, like brightness, contrast, all this bullshit. I got it to work. And then this happened. And I'm like, the fuck?
I started adjusting my brightness on my on my TV during this. I'm like, nope, it's just the movie. All right. Also, what's his face? Scorpio goes into like full Joker berserker mode at this point.
Yep.
And I guess this was it was ad-libbed by the actor when he like looks at Harry's gun, the Magnum, and he goes, "Ooh, that's a big one."
Dude, it was great. That is a great scene.
Yeah.
Don't die yet, you fucking oinker.
Yeah, oinker.
You know?
And then when he gets stabbed, the yells that he makes when he's in pain are the weirdest, most like unique yells I've ever seen in any movie.
Dude, he gets stabbed. It's such a good scene. He gets stabbed, and then it's camera shot turns to him going, "Ooh,
yeah."
Yep. And it's a long shot. You know, it's like 10 seconds of him screaming like a weirdo, and it's so effective in the movie. It really is.
It's like that Technicolor, like red paint on his leg for blood too. Like it's so blood red.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Chico shows up, interrupts the whole the whole murder process for this guy, and Chico, like John said, terrible shot, but distracts the guy enough that Harry can get out his knife and jab him in the leg. At which point, Scorpio lays out that scream we were just talking about and like falls down a hill into a path. And he like stumbles away. He's kind of like a nerdy killer, but he's still
everybody
very effective.
Knows this kid in high school that like growing up was the kid that would like eat glue and do super weird stuff and was always like unkempt and just like would just try to get himself hurt for attention. Like that is Scorpio.
Oh yeah.
Did he make it away with the money? I feel like he got away with the money for a second, and then he was like, "No, fuck it, I'm done."
I don't even know. It was so
and then just like
dark.
hop skipped his way home. Yeah, I know that's a good thing. It's not like, but like even so that okay. Here's a good point about how dark this movie is. So yes, you cannot see entire actors in certain scenes of this movie, no matter what. But the briefcase, the bag that Harry is running around town with, full of $100,000 or $200,000, or whatever the fuck the dollar amount is at this point, is phosphorescent yellow leather.
Yep.
You still cannot see that.
Nope.
But yeah, I think he actually drops the cash. And also we get to see him hop, skip, jump around for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sticks with it.
He doesn't get the cash. He doesn't get the cash. That's part of the reason why he still like keeps going. Because he didn't get the cash. Because he still wants a $200K at the end of the movie.
Okay.
And then, like, right before the scene ends, Harry, right before he passes out, just fires one random shot in the park, which was super safe.
Yeah.
You're a police officer. What are you doing?
That's exactly why I did it, Max. That's protocol.
I got a license to kill. Not really. It doesn't really work like that, dude.
So, Rico gets shot by the Scorpio. Rico's mortally wounded, ends up in the hospital. Harry's all fucked up. After we see that Scorpio kind of like stumbles into like a free medical clinic, which is important. We'll get to that in a minute. But, then Harry's laying on his boss's couch, all banged up, at which point he gets a call from a doctor. They get a call from a doctor at a medical clinic saying, I just treated some guy with a stab wound. I know you guys are looking for one. You get down here. So then Clint Eastwood and fucking Fatso go down to the med clinic, and the doctor tells them that the guy they're looking for actually works at the football stadium across the street.
Yeah, that was my note. I'm like, he lives at the 49ers stadium?
Yeah, pretty sweet, right?
That's pretty cool.
The parallels between this movie and the Die Hard franchise are just insane. I mean,
Yankee
considering
Stadium.
that like the Dulles Airport Die Hard movie where like the janitor who lives underneath Dulles Airport, I've never met him before and I've been there. And there was a lot stolen from this movie. It's proto Die Hard.
For sure. I also like that Fatso's excuse not to jump this fence when they do a breaking and entering without a warrant is that he ate too much linguine.
Yeah, too much.
Too much.
We gotta go. Yeah, Harry goes, looks like we gotta climb. And he goes, not for me. Too much linguine.
I'll find another way in.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Go
once
sit in the car.
again, Clint Eastwood was just laid up on a couch where with it as described by his captain or whatnot as like having at least 2 broken ribs.
Definitely concussed.
Meanwhile, he is still able to scale a 12-foot fence, but the bad guy who was stabbed in the leg, who apparently had it actually fixed up, unlike the broken ribs that Harry has, still can't fucking run to save his goddamn life.
Yeah, because Harry's a boss.
Mhm.
That's true.
Scorpio's a little pansy.
And like I loved like the half-ass attempt to make it look like, oh no, he feels pain, because he makes it over that 12-foot fence, like sits there, like he like stands up for a second, kind of like, and then keeps going. It's like, oh, that's the only pain he registers. Sure, he's the perfect cop.
That's just 41-year-old Clint Eastwood. He's like, oh, my balls. Fuck.
They're so big. Oh, they chafe.
I can just imagine the other way that DiGiorgio found into the park being like a Chris Farley running through, like blasting through a door, like falling through a door.
I was thinking just him getting in the car and then just driving through the fence that Eastwood just jumped.
Yeah. Yeah, so Clint Eastwood finds fucking Scorpio. There's a brief chase where they chase the limping Scorpio around the stadium, but then he gets out into the field and DiGiorgio hits the lights right when he gets in the middle of the field, and Clint Eastwood yells at one loud halt and then shoots him right in the kneecap.
From 100 yards away. How do we know? Because he's literally 100 yards away on the football field.
Yeah, exactly. So then he walks over to him and starts torturing him to find out where the girl is. The camera pans out, almost like there's a helicopter above him, which I think there was at the time. And cutscene to finding the dead girl's body.
In a ditch next to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Quite the scenic spot.
That was lovely. Yeah, I preferred the purple Shaw.
Yeah, I also just prefer not ever seeing a full frontal nudity 14-year-old. I mean, I know she wasn't 14, but just they said that she was. I'm like, this is way too long. Like they stayed on that for way too long. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah. And the fact that she was supposedly, I mean, she wasn't dead, but supposedly dead. Also very gross.
That's what I mean. The whole thing is just like, all right, okay, this is too much. We could have just, been told. I think this could have been off camera, being like, yeah, we found the body. And then they also mentioned that she was raped. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The movies in the 70s were so fucking brutal.
They were.
Yeah, they were severe. Yeah. They really were severe. And I mean, it feeds in because then you're like, oh, this motherfucker's got to go.
Yeah. And also you start to understand why Harry is just so jaded and broken.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just a regular week for him.
Right.
It's like, goddamn flower children. You're getting raped and thrown into ditches next to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Peace and love my ass.
Okay.
So Harry gets called to the district attorney's office, where the pompous district attorney, real cunt bag,
This guy
tells Harry that all the evidence from the Scorpio arrest is inadmissible because Harry didn't follow procedure. And Harry's like, procedure? I was trying to save a girl's life.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't seen the movie Seven before, because this also happens in that movie.
Right.
They break into John
pay
Dale's
homeless
place.
people to lie for him.
Yep. I like that he says like a few things. He says Miranda, like the Miranda rights, and Eastwood just like gives him like a half squint. He's like, what?
Yeah, like,
Right.
The
What's
Miranda
that?
are you
Miranda?
kidding me?
Who's Miranda?
I just shoot them so that way I don't have to. What? I've got to read someone their rights when they're dead.
Right. And then Harry goes, well, the law's wrong. And that judge over there like clutches his pearls like he just like slapped his wife across the face.
Also, I love that the murder weapon is just lying on top like a bunch of paperwork in that guy's office. Like, why is this not in an evidence locker? It's just
not
there.
in a bag or
Like,
nothing. It's just
no, he just picks it up
yeah.
and starts playing with it. The fucking the DA. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
None of this is right. I know we don't have Preble here on the episode, but I can tell you one thing. I don't think DAs are supposed to be holding murder weapons in their office.
No. But this is why you cannot let sanctuary cities just get away with whatever they want to do.
It's a good point, John.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was too political. Wee.
It was a different time, John. It's okay.
Indeed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So suffice to say, Scorpio gets away with, the murders. They don't charge him with any of it. But that's not sitting well with Harry. So Harry starts following him around to all his local haunts, which was essentially just a strip club.
Roaring 20s bar. I took note of that place. I want to go there. God damn.
That sounds good music and
fantastic yabos. And booties.
Exactly.
I'm like, God, like women had asses like that in 1971? Really?
Oh, baby.
Good Lord.
The human body has not changed that much in 50 years. I hate to break
Perception of what people find attractive has, and that those people had 2021 ass and tits. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so Harry follows him around. Scorpio's like, I can't have this keep going on. So he hatches a plan. He's like, I'm going to have some dude in some abandoned, like, some chemical waste facility beat the shit out of me, and then I'm gonna blame it on Harry, for like $20. He pays this guy to do it.
It's so weird.
And then
it's like, it's better than you sucking my dick, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll do anything for $20.
I love at the end when Scorpio, gets real racially offensive, and the guy goes, "This one's for free," and just like fucking heel kicks him in the teeth. Yeah, it's great.
He drags him out of his little like kid Ford. He goes, "This one's on the house." Kick right in the face.
Dude.
Right.
Cutscene. Max laughing his ass off, looking at the time. 20 minutes until airtime.
I will say, in this scene, this is probably one of the best, like, acted out, like, I'm beating the shit out of somebody. Like, where they really, like, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of those punches landed. It was acted out really well. Like, I could see the hits. I was like, damn, shit.
I agree.
And you know what? I felt it really, really was comforting that the guy was like, okay, so you want the whole $200 worth. Yep, every cent. Okay, great. Well, you might as well get comfortable. Puts a chair out for him and then immediately just punches him in the shit out of him.
I wonder if there was like a menu. I wanted to know if there's like a menu behind the guy being like, just like a black eye is like $2, like
he got the platinum.
Pressure point.
He got the platinum.
Nerve endings. Yeah, you want me to kind of cripple, like hit the nerve point in your shoulder so it slouches down too much? Like, what do you want? Right. Do you want to make it look like you got hit by a car?
Okay. Yeah. So Scorpio gets the shit kicked out of him by the guy. Then cutscene to him in the hospital. And, reporters for some reason are there. That's really never explained. But they're there. And he starts telling the reporters that he's been persecuted by the San Francisco Police Department, and that the guy that beat him up was named Harry Callahan.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the thing I wanted to say was I was expecting in that other scene, here's a Derek move in the past scene, for him to be like, I thought that Scorpio was there to buy a gun, not to get his fucking ass kicked on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I was wondering what was up, where he was like, so the whole $200. And he's like, yep, every cent. I'm like, what is really like, I wasn't thinking a gun or anything, but I was like, that can't be it. It can't be a gun or anything if he's doing that. We also see how he gets his gun later, and that's fucking.
Yeah.
Jesus goddamn.
But finding a guy who specializes in beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, no Craigslist back then.
No, you just gotta know a guy.
Yeah, you gotta know enough homeless people.
Yeah, I guess.
People do anything for money.
Right. Really nothing comes of this because the chief calls him into his office and calls Harry into his office, and he's like, "Did you beat him up?" And he goes, "Anyone who knows me knows I didn't beat him up." And the chief goes, "Well, how do we know that?" And he goes, "Because he looks too damn good."
Yeah.
At which point I fucking came.
Skate. Put some skeet on top of your skeet with some sprinkled skeet and some crystallized skeet on top of that skeet.
Oh, you're so dirty, Harry.
Oh, my God. Dude, Tim's eyes are still huge right now. Oh, my God.
The whole camera shook when he started just stimulating sex acts.
Dude, my eyes just rolled backwards 2 times in my head.
Tim looked like Scorpio at the end of this movie, just soaking wet with his eyes rolled behind his head.
Oh, what happened?
It's much happier.
Oh, it's ectoplasm.
Spooky ghost.
Spooky ghost.
You go to horny jail now. Bye.
So after Harry leaves the chief's office, he goes to visit Chico. Blah blah blah. Chico's going to quit the force. Nothing really there.
Cop stuff.
Scorpio.
The wife. I wasn't expecting being a cop's wife for it to be so difficult. People don't like him. Like, well, you're a fucking cop in San Francisco in 1970. What do you think?
Yeah. What a dumb broad.
Yeah.
Didn't they just kill a bunch of people at Kent State last week? Come on.
You're the most liberal city in the country, and there's a bunch, the cops are not liberal.
No, they're not. So, okay. Anyway, again, who cares?
Yeah, so after Harry and Chico's wife have the heart-to-heart, we cut scene to Scorpio walking into a liquor store where he beats the shit out of the clerk so they can steal his gun.
Dude, all of this makes no sense. This guy deserved to get his fucking ass kicked and his gun stolen. Mm-hmm. This person who's wearing I don't even know no, actually at this point he didn't have all the bandages on his face anymore. His face is just all fucked up. So he walks in.
He did have a bandage on his nose.
Yeah, he got the big nose one that knows that he's clearly addicted to something. No one else has that unless you're addicted to some shit.
First of all, who, instead of paying some homeless dude to beat the shit out of you, who decides that a better story is I beat the shit out of my wife and then my brother-in-law beat the shit out of me? That starts to make me think that he actually is crazy again, because he thought, oh, that's a good story. That's gonna be my MO.
I think the crazier part is that the liquor store clerk goes, "Yeah, buddy, pound it."
That's what I'm saying. That's what this dude fucking deserves, to get his gun stolen and his ass kicked. Because this weirdo says, "I just beat my wife." He smiles and he says, "Oh, well, this is where I hold my gun." And he fucking takes his gun out and shows it to him. So what the fuck are you doing?
San Francisco had not turned yet. Once again, we were not in the era of being robbed in broad daylight via screwdriver point. So turned a corner.
Anyway, fuck that guy.
So
moral of the story, fuck that guy.
You know what? I didn't have a least favorite character. I just found one.
So Scorpio beats the guy over the head with the bottle of liquor that he just bought, and then steals the guy's gun, also grabs a pint of JMO, and just skips his way out of there. He limps his way out of there. So then we cut scene to Scorpio running up the stairs trying to catch a school bus, which he promptly hijacks.
Very efficiently, too, and he keeps everybody under control.
Yeah, good at crowd control.
Until he's not good at crowd control.
And then he just starts pimp smacking kids in the face, and everything falls apart real fast. It was like, whoa.
It was under control until he literally beat up every single person on the bus.
I don't know why everything just came to pieces. I was trying to establish discipline and fucking dominance, and I just beat the shit out of everybody. The bus driver's screaming. Jesus.
She's trying to take a right into like San Quentin prison. He's like, "What are you doing?" No, no, the next right.
So then this turns into Speed.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
kind of.
really fast. Was waiting for Keanu to jump off the fucking bridge, but you know.
Oh, where's Sandra?
Well,
Well, so then Harry gets called to the mayor's office again. Mayor gets a call from Scorpio saying, "Hey, I got a bunch of school kids on a bus. I want $200K, and a plane." The mayor says, the chief of police says, "Harry, can you be the fucking, the bag man again?" And Harry
Again.
The fucking
Harry goes,
balls on them.
Right. He goes, "Chug my helmet, and I'm getting out of here." And then he goes full fucking like rogue Rambo on it and just goes and takes care of the problem himself.
Hold on. Before that, though, the wording of the mayor, "You will not be molested in any way." He says, "We will not molest you" twice. It's like,
Yeah.
poor choice of words when you're talking to a crazy serial killer who has a fucking school bus hostage.
Right. Certainly can't say that about the kids.
No, but like Nikki was walking by. She's like, "Did he just say that he's not going to molest him?" Like, yes, he did.
Yeah,
70s lingo.
Yeah, some language definitely has brought some baggage with it these days. But you can clearly see why this mayor was quickly voted out of office and then became a shitty dean at a shitty university later in life. So that's fine. So.
Also, were you guys expecting them to be like, "Hey, Harry, we want you to take the money, but we want you to shoot that son of a bitch"? Like, I was expecting that.
I was expecting them to be like, will you be the bag man again? And they were being like, "Oh, he'll behave himself."
Just either way.
I was expecting this to happen. I was expecting Harry at some point was going to tell all these fuckers to the only real way to get rid of this guy is through violence and action.
Let's put a fucking hole through his forehead.
Yeah. So, the Scorpio's he has the bus full of kids. They're singing, the wheels on the bus go round and round. They cross the Golden Gate Bridge. Then he starts pimp smacking a couple of them around, keep them in line, which I didn't really hate. And
I miss my mommy. Shut up! I'll kill your parents.
What?
Which seemed reasonable to me. If I'm a teacher, I'm employing that. And then all of a sudden, we see Harry ominously standing on top of a railroad bridge that goes over the road that the bus is driving on, and he jumps on top of the bus.
Such a fucking badass shot.
Dude.
God damn. I mean, that is the man with no face right there, just standing out for his shootout, standing over a bridge in San Fran, just waiting for it.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would throw in like a good, bad, and the ugly, like,
yeah,
like when you see him on top of the fucking bridge.
Him just dancing his fingers around his holster, just waiting for it.
Lee Van Cleef just comes out of nowhere.
But at this point, it's
where did Lee Van Cleef come from?
But it's Lee Van Cleef from Escape from New York, so he has that one earing in his ear. Just like that, man. It's a weird look, dude.
You were a lot better in the Man with No Name trilogy than you are in this one.
So that's another thing too. This was a real stunt. So Eastwood literally, as you can see too in the shot, he jumped from the bridge onto that bus.
Yeah.
For real.
Badass motherfucker.
Fucking 41-year-old dude. Badass. Yeah.
Yep.
But he wasn't stretching before he did that. It's the 70s. He's just.
Of course not.
It's like another cigarette. All right, let's do
Yeah,
this.
he chain smoked 6 cigarettes in the matter of 30 seconds before jumping onto that thing and still did it. And he also still managed to inhale an entire hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't choke when he landed on the bus.
If you look real close, he was chewing the entire scene.
It's like Eastwood.
Yeah, so Harry jumps on top of the bus. Scorpio starts firing, telling the bus driver to swerve. They end up in this quarry, and Scorpio makes a break for it, trying to get away from Harry. And he starts running around all the quarry machinery, and they start shooting at each other. And they don't hit anybody. Scorpio sees some fucking ginger kid fishing by the lake. He basically sees a young me fishing by the lake.
A young Tim.
This actor was Scorpio's son-in-law, or not son-in-law, excuse me, stepson.
Really?
Oh, that's
hilarious.
Great.
Yep.
Does he beat his stepson too?
Does he put him at gunpoint in real life?
From time to time? Because the kid seemed really cool about the whole situation relative to what was actually happening.
He's like, yeah, my dad does this a lot.
That's fine. It's San Francisco in the 70s, guys. What do you want from me?
So, yeah, he takes the kid hostage. Harry doesn't care. He wings him with one of the bullets. And then we come back to the fucking iconic scene of the movie where Harry, neither of them know, did Harry shoot 5 bullets or 6 bullets? And Harry gives the great line, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" And the guy goes for the gun, and Harry fucking blasts him right in the chest into the lake. Fantastic.
It was good.
Yeah. Full Joker again by Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Just that weird moaning that he does when he got shot. Like, I can't even mimic it. And then his weird, like, hysterical laughing. It's like he is a prototype of, like, any Joker character.
You know, he's like if the Joker fucked a frog because of that face. It's the face. It's so, like, the guy's features are just a little bit strange where it's just like, hey. But
I meant to mention this earlier, John. So that Scorpio, he's the dad in the first Hellraiser movie. The one that the uncle then takes, like, they kill him and they take, like, his body. They skin him and take his skin. That's him.
Huh?
Yeah. The one, come
No
to daddy.
shit.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, okay.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
Okay, Andrew Robinson, you silly,
Andrew Robinson.
weird little fuck. Yeah, he's a weird motherfucker. He was also in Child's Play. No shit. Also, and for the Trekkies out there, apparently he was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. But fuck knows.
Fuck. There was another thing I wanted to mention earlier, which would have been funny, but he's a pacifist. So they had to halt production at one point. There's no trivia. I have no other trivia, but they had to halt production at one point because he kept on flinching every single time he'd fire a gun.
Oh my God.
So they have these dramatic scenes of him getting ready to kill somebody. He's just like fucking all over the place.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, we can clearly see that, yes, that Clint Eastwood has a wonderful eye for talent. This is the guy that needs to play it. He's scared of shooting weapons, but he's supposed to be a murderer. Like, what the
He's a
fuck?
pacifist.
But he's a pacifist.
We want you to be a serial killer in this movie. Are you comfortable with guns? I'm a pacifist. You got the job.
Damn it.
You get it. Oh, wow. He was in Dukes of Hazzard back in the 80s. Huh. And
All right, Tim.
Liberace.
Really?
So, then Harry throws his badge in the lake, being like, I'm done with this policing thing, except for the next 5 movies.
There's no way there's going to be 4 more of these.
Yeah. And the movie ends.
Touchstone.
Perfect ending.
Yeah. Great ending. I love the ending of this movie.
Yeah. Boom.
And then it's just so weird because this is the time the movie ends and then that's it. Like all the credits happen in the beginning. So it's like,
It's great.
I've been watching so many Marvel movies recently that like the movie ends and then there's still like 15 minutes of like technical film left. And then in this, I like went to pause it as he's about to go into that, do you feel lucky scene?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there is 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this entire thing and then it's done.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just
Fantastic.
over. Holy shit, a movie that just ends.
Pan out, done.
Oh my God.
Touchstone of a good cop movie though is when the cop just then throws his badge in the water.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least he kept his ID. That's how you knew he was coming back.
Yeah, so I don't have any trivia.
That's fine.
I don't think they
said
didn't
so.
have trivia in the 70s. You just made movies.
Mhm.
You know?
Let's go straight into favorite, least favorite character. Max.
Favorite's gonna be Harry or Scorpio, one or the other. It's gonna be a combo probably. And then my least favorite is gonna be the liquor store clerk. You got what was coming to you, dude.
A good choice.
Don't give a fucking wife beater a high five for beating his wife.
Yeah.
You do that, and then you're gonna get fucking pistol whipped and all your shit stolen. No wonder why you've had like 6 break-ins in the last month. You piece of shit.
They're all by his ex-wife who used to be.
So yeah, my favorite, go fucking figure is going to be Harry. I haven't seen a good Clint Eastwood movie in a long time, and like one of the only movies that I ever really base like my opinion of Clint Eastwood off of is Kelly's Heroes. Funny enough, so this was like a good change of pace for me, especially since I hadn't seen the film before, so it was a lot of good. I was much more excited to watch this in Casablanca, but my least favorite is actually going to be the mayor. Who is played by John Vernon.
Yeah.
I just
really
don't fucking get it. Like, I mean, he's a very hateable mayor because the mayor always has to be a shithead in like every movie, no matter what movie you're making. Doesn't matter the genre, the mayor's a shithead. So it makes sense. I mean, you got Jaws, Godzilla, serial killer movie. The mayor's always a shithead. Fuck this guy.
Yep.
Hate him. Yeah. That's what
The mayor's up my ass.
I was expecting that. I wanted it. I wanted it so badly in this. Come on, give me one.
My favorite character, I mean, listen, we could all go score, but we could go with Harry. I mean, my favorite character, it has to be, what's her name, Max?
Hot Mary.
Hot Mary.
What you doing peeping at Hot Mary?
My favorite is Hot Mary. You know, who wouldn't want to fucking what do they call it?
A man.
Who wouldn't want to pie hawker her, you know?
Who wouldn't want to fuck a San Francisco 49ers lineman in the 1970s?
Oh my God, Lois was also in Gremlins and Child's Play 3 as well. Huh.
Lois?
Hot Mary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's good. Child's Play 3, wow.
Yeah.
What a credit.
That's not a good one.
There you are. And the third Exorcist, we knew that was good. Anyways.
All right, so my least favorite is the fucking doctor who just like was walking around. Let me think. He was like he was a Woody Allen character.
I did not give a fuck.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Ooh.
Trying to think. You're not thinking, dude. You're going to the cabinet. I can see you thinking in your head about which medication you got to go give this fucking junkie who's going through withdrawals right now.
Right. Do you just take a morphine pill, Doc? Let me think.
It helps me think. More. I think I need more. I think I need more morphine. I think I need more morphine. I think... Doctor, you've said that like 6 times in a row.
Yeah, I know. Get it for me, goddammit.
I don't know where it is. I can't see. From all the morphine.
All right. What are you guys' ratings?
You know what? I'll give this one a Dutch waffle in a yellow leather bag.
All right.
Solid rating.
Cool.
Tell you you're very impressed with the movie, John.
Oh, well, you know.
I'm going to give this just one. What the hell were those groovy chicks doing with that naked girl in that apartment?
Yep.
Ooh,
That's what I
that's
want
the
to know.
first time. I've known you for a long time, Max, and I've never heard you use the word groovy before.
Those were some groovy chicks. It
There were
fit.
some-
All of that fit.
There were some
It definitely
groovy
fit.
chicks.
I want to know if they were going to be going on a vision where they got to just go fuck each other. Like, what were they doing? Is it just like non-sexual? Just take your clothes off, be free humans.
Hot yoga. It's hot yoga mixed with a fucking
yoga.
hippie jam band. I mean, maybe a little drum circle. That's it. Yeah. It's probably
Tell you
nothing
what,
as awesome as we want it to be.
their hippie jam out's not going to go well when they start hearing a machine gun firing from the floor above them on the roof. That would have been great if Harry then wanted to get his binoculars again. He's like, hold on. I need to see what they're doing now.
Yeah, hold on. What the fuck?
You guys got
they're all cuddling.
The one thing that did disappoint me in this movie is if you look at Harry looking through those binoculars, he has them upside down, which is annoying. I'm like, Clint, you can't be the guy that has the fucking binoculars upside down, but he does.
Oh my God.
They're totally upside down.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna give this a rating of 200 pounds of fucking Mary's Yabo meat, and
Jesus Christ.
out of 2,000 seconds of Scorpio yells that comprise this movie.
I mean, it's weird. Yeah. Some of this was remixed to like literally layer on top of like some horror movie with a monster. Like that.
It was disturbing. His yells were fucking disturbing. Every single time he yelled, I had to turn the volume down. And it was just me, my wife, and my dog in the house, and I felt uncomfortable. Also, 200 pounds of yabos is what Mary weighed when her fucking tits were just hanging over the over the doorway.
The windowsill?
Over the windowsill as she's weighing herself. Like Homer Simpson.
Yeah. So true, dude. Oh my god. We got any jelly, John?
Oh, jelly time. Jelly time's limited this week, but that's okay because we got Clayton. Clayton, my dude. Tim honestly was offended that you didn't talk shit about him, so he knows that you're lying and that you don't like us, but that's okay because we really did appreciate the comment. Made the week for us. Once again, the world's still fucking ending, so we need a pick-me-up whenever we can get it. So as usual, follow us and like us on the Twitter lands at HM Popcorn Pod and the Instagrills at Hold My Popcorn _podcast. And lastly, you know what? Fuck it. Don't email me. Email Tim at tdbackrow@gmail.com. Once again, email Tim at tdbackrow@gmail.com. And with that, I got nothing else. So deuces, fuckers.
We will make a solemn promise to all of our fans that email the podcast in some way or shape or form that anyone who emails, doesn't matter if you want to just shit on us or say good stuff, we will send you a signed picture of Derek Paco Brady's belly button.
I will not be paying for the mailing.
I was hoping you were going to say asshole, but
nope.
It's been outlawed.
Well,
I'm not even allowed to say it. I get in trouble for bringing it up every time.
Well, John, if you isolate it, they look the same.
That's a good point. They're both black holes. They're both black holes and hairy.
Yeah.
Before we go.
Well, on that note. Okay, go ahead.
Are we going to talk about whether or not the existence of outies and innies in the anal neighborhood? Like what? What are we talking about?
No. Recommendations. So instead of doing a typical movie recommendation, because we're an hour and 40 minutes into this, I want to do a Clint Eastwood recommendation for John. So the first one that came to mind is Unforgiven. Have you seen that movie, John?
I don't believe I've seen Unforgiven.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well,
such a good movie.
Great. Yeah. Best picture. Best director, which was Eastwood. Awesome movie.
Honestly, the one I've been wanting to watch, the mood's never stricken me quite right, is Gran Torino. I wanted to watch that for a long time.
It's not bad.
Gran Torino's good. Yeah.
And I know it's a little bit outside of the usual Clint Eastwood kind of thing, but, you know.
I'm glad you didn't say Space Cowboys.
No, I've seen that. That one's worth it for like just watching a bunch of old men just talk about their erectile dysfunction in outer space. Like that's all that's good for.
A bunch of old men talking about that happened 27 years ago. It's like, Jesus Christ, they're all still fucking alive and doing movies.
Yeah, how the fuck that's even possible? No, Donald Sutherland's the only one who steals that fucking film where he's just like everything. He's like, no, this is good for the libido. He's like 75, barely breathing. Yeah. Right.
What about you, Tim? Any Eastwood recommendations for John?
I mean, to be honest, like the Man with No Name trilogy is the best. They are the best Westerns ever made.
Yeah.
Fact of the matter, like Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more. Shit, I'm blanking on the most
Good, Bad, and the
famous
Ugly.
One. Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah.
I mean, you cannot get a better Western than those. Like Clint Eastwood in those is the iconic Western cowboy. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I think more iconic than fucking John Wayne at this point.
Yeah. Well, you know, and a lot less fucking baggage apparently. So.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
I don't know if you've seen those, John, but I would recommend those highly.
You know, I'd seen them bits and pieces. I know I've seen them when I was much younger, when I still had fresh brain cells being produced. And since then, I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to. And I've got a long stretch ahead of me, so I think I might be able to pinch some of these out.
Worst case, we'll make you watch it at some point, because we'll do it. We'll just do all three of them at some point.
All right.
And all of our wives will hate us for that.
Provided we can do Kelly's Heroes.
You got it, buddy.
All right.
Yeah. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, John. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Tim's over here just jacking it.
Well, I'm glad that this was a quick episode, guys.
Yeah. Appreciate it. I'm never going to ask for that again, ever.
I told you I had a lot of notes.
No, it was good. This is actually the closest to an actual movie podcast that we've ever gotten to in a long time, as you said.
We got real deep at a couple moments about the cinematography stuff.
We got dangerously close to acting like we know what we're talking about there for a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking
that's rough.
Of film stuff, another thing I wanted to say was just the fact that like I loved how they filmed Eastwood in like that third person view and how he would like go through multiple rooms before they established like the actual scene. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
Didn't share that.
Because it honestly, what it did is it put you in the setting rather than like it set you in like where you were. You were in San Francisco. You were in the mayor's office. You know.
Yeah, it just felt more real. All these movies kind of feel more real because they didn't have the steady cam. Like, it just felt like there's somebody just kind of walking with you, moving around.
Right.
But, okay. Fun times.
All right.
Bye.
All right,
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Take it
y'all.
easy.
This is Truckers. Sleep well, sleep tight. Love y'all. Okay, bye. Y'all come back now. You hear? Okay, bye. Okay, bye.